Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Through the Glass Table. I'm Everett.
And I'm Izzy.
And today we'll be reviewing Blade Runner 2049.
Ooh!
The true modern masterpiece of the year, Blade Runner 2049 continues the adventure of Detective Descartes and the replicant androids of the Tyrell Corporation. This time we follow a newer model of android played by Ryan Gosling as he navigates his way to the truths of the universe and how to make a sequel correctly. Before we even start talking about this sequel to this 1984, 1985.
Some old ass movie.
We should really start researching this before we talk about it. But to Ridley Scott's original Blade Runner, we should actually talk about Blade Runner.
I don't want to.
I know that you don't like it, and I understand why you don't like it.
It's so boring. I tried watching it 3 times. I fell asleep twice.
Blade Runner is more about the visuals and the concept.
Yeah, people keep saying it's such an artistic take on a film, but it's just like it's like Dunkirk all over again, you know. For me, it's just like,
I think it's a little bit more creative than Dunkirk. Let's not talk about that. But I think the problem, and this will pertain to the sequel. I think the problem with that movie is that the main character is utterly vapid. Like there's nothing about Harrison Ford that's really interesting.
Yeah, he's very shallow and kind of just like, why am I rooting for you?
Like why? And then at the end too, it becomes about the love story between one of the replicants, Rachel, and him. But it's sort of like they're both nobody. Like who are they? And why do I care if they get together? And I can see why that is hard to follow from beginning to end. So now we talked about Blade Runner, and we see how you feel about it. How do you feel about Blade Runner 2049?
I loved it. Let me just tell you.
This movie was fucking fantastic. I wasn't expecting anything from this.
I was expecting good. I really like the director.
Well, yeah, what was it? Philippe?
Denis Villeneuve?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Denis V. I think we reviewed Arrival, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah, I really liked that film. I had a couple problems with it, but we both gave it a high mark. I wasn't expecting this from him. It just blew my mind. It was out of this world.
Why is it out of this world? What did he do that's so different from the first one?
Well, it's also less of that and more of what did he expand from the first one? Because all the threads that are in this are created from the first movie, but he made it into a way where it's
accessible.
It's accessible. It's interesting. You care about the characters that are on screen. Ryan Gosling plays a Blade Runner. He's almost like a mirror of how Deckard was at the beginning of the first Blade Runner, except there's a lot more going on inside him. I really liked Ryan Gosling in this.
Yeah, he's surprising.
His facial expressions say so much without him ever having to speak. What's funny too is that just a couple of days ago I watched La La Land for the first time, and I just had no hope for him in this movie after watching that. That movie is, let's not sidebar, that movie is fucking terrible. It is fucking terrible.
You already sidebarred.
Sorry. But anyway, I think it's to the way, it was nice to see him in not as an attractive character.
More morose, kind of like a hero that has the world on his shoulders kind of deal.
Yeah, because usually in the movies he's been in, that's always a part of it. It's like, oh, he's a heartthrob or he's a sexy person.
This don't really matter.
Yeah, and this, I mean, obviously he's an attractive man in this, but that's so far from what you should be caring about in this movie that it wasn't even a thought. I
could have done less with Jared Leto.
You know, we'll make that a whole section.
I don't want to make it a whole section. Let's talk about characters. We're talking about characters. Let's talk about Jared Leto.
Well, let's get through a couple of other people. Who else is in this? Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. It's such a fucking pleasure to have him back. Like, seriously, like, I've missed him.
And he cares.
Well, yeah, because he finally has a role.
Yeah.
What was he getting before?
Like really crappy movies.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't go the Tommy Lee Jones route and start doing like road trip movies with Morgan Freeman. Like at least he just stopped acting. I think it is really great how they integrated that character into this. You were saying we don't want to spoil anything, but you were saying you liked
how they placed them in the film. Yeah,
it had a purpose. It wasn't just a cameo.
Yeah, because the story is not his story. It has him in it.
Yeah,
but
and
it's really
obviously
Joe's story.
the consequences of his actions from the first movie
are dealt with by Joe. And
everybody's favorite fucking actors in this, Jared Leto.
WB's favorite fucking actor.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
They're a little cash cow. I hate Jared Leto right now.
I don't get what is his like. Like, I get Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp can be entertaining, even though he's not a
Johnny
great
Depp's
actor.
immersive.
But he's not a great actor.
But he falls into the character that you can believe Jack Sparrow. You can believe, like...
I mean, yeah, I
little
guess that's
things.
true.
I can't believe Jared Leto.
Jared Leto is like those actor kids that we used to have in high school where they would hang around in the theater and be terrible actors, and they thought they were good.
I've just lost faith in him because personally, he ruined the Joker for me. He ruined, what was the one before that? Everybody keeps always going back to Requiem of a Dream or something about his like talent, or the Dallas Buyer Club for his talent. I'm just like, okay, but like everything else that he's been in, like it's just like surface.
I think when we left the theater, I told you how I felt about him is that it just feels like he's always in some other movie when he's in a movie. Like everyone fit in and they knew what they were in, and then he just had to be whatever he
was just like greasing the wheels. Yeah. That's what he was. He was just
for a character that didn't need that much grease.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford looked so bored. Like in their scene together. Did he look bored? He's like, you're not giving me anything, kid.
I would say the scenes that were the most boring were anything with Jared Leto, where I wasn't engaged. Maybe because I have a bias and I don't like him, but
no. See, I have no problem with Jared Leto trying. I have just a problem with him not delivering. Like, because there's a couple things where he tries and I'm like, okay, it's passable. But this, like, for the last couple years, he's just been fucking not delivering.
I think he thinks he is delivering. It's just not good.
Ain't that a shame?
It's just not good.
Because even all the articles you read, he doesn't watch his movies. So he's one of those actors. So it's just
like, I think that's the added layer.
How are you supposed to not grow your art if you don't even watch yourself?
Because it's some sort of weird superstition. I think that's the added layer, too, is that he has a douchebagness about him out. You know, he sends dead pigs to prepare for...
Oh, the method acting?
Yeah, I call bullshit on that every time I hear that. Like, I get it if you go research a place or go live at a place to take in whatever your role is supposed to be, but all that acting out stuff, I just feel like that's bullshit. Danny V directed this. I feel like this is his best movie. I haven't seen Sicario yet, so
you haven't seen Sicario?
No, I haven't seen Sicario yet. I just found out about him when we watched.
I haven't seen that first thing that he did, Prisoners.
Oh, he says foreign.
I think so. I'm not too sure, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he is like a master class. Like this was some high art shit.
Different level, yeah.
Yeah. This is where people think Christopher Nolan is, and he's not. Like this is something where I could tell for years and years and years he's been thinking about this, because everything was just very meticulous and very.
Or at least that he's a big fan of the original.
Yeah, the shots were beautiful, but also he was restrained enough to not be flashy. Like a lot of the stuff was just kind of mundane but beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it's less about that and more about the story, you know.
But when it was so immersive.
Yeah.
It's like just the grand shots of everything and you kind of falling into it. Even the soundtrack to go along with it too, it was greatly put together. It's like
I was expecting, when I saw the trailers, I was expecting just some movie with Blade Runner's name on it. And going in and halfway through, I realized, like, oh, this is the same world. Like, visually, spiritually, he was very careful of keeping intact the spirit of the movie, even though he made it better. Because I think we agree that this is probably better than Blade Runner.
Ooh, we're going to anger a lot of people.
This is a better movie than Blade Runner. But I think it still retained whatever Ridley Scott was going for. And you could just tell that he absolutely loves Blade Runner. I don't know.
Well, we can't talk about it too much about why we loved it because then it will ruin the fucking film. But like, his heart was in the film. That's all I'm gonna say.
He understood deeply what the first film was about. Even like I'm starting to realize things about the first film. We only saw this 3 hours ago, and just
because honestly I couldn't really tell what the first film was about. To tell you the truth, you know. But this one, it's very clear as to the fear of what makes a person human.
Yeah.
It's there in the first one. It's there in the first one. The reasons why replicants exist and why people are so afraid of them and the backlash of wars and stuff like that. But this one, to make it, tangible for us, has to be with like a real human experience.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
I started to see the hope from Rutger Hauer's character from the first movie, the main villain.
Some people might. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's the villain from the first movie.
The Tears in the Rain guy.
Memories fade like tears in rain. It's like the hope that he had for his people flourishes in this movie, is how I'll say it. I'll say this, I almost had a problem with this movie. I cannot even explain it to you because I would ruin the entire movie. But there's a moment, I'm sure you can get what I'm saying. There's a moment where you learn something about a character. And then I just thought like, oh, this. Like this is too easy. Like, why would you make him this?
Oh.
And so, as the movie went on, they played with that idea.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to totally be nothing what I thought it was going to be. So then I was happier than when I was disappointed. I was like, okay, you guys followed through with this. Like, you knew what you were doing. This is just great.
He's just like nutting on Danny's face right now.
Yeah, I did.
I loved you. I loved your film.
You know what I'm saying, though.
I exactly know what you're saying.
Because I kind of was like taken out a little bit when I learned that fact. Because I thought like this is like
this
real.
is what they're building up into. Yeah.
But then I thought about it too of like, why would you release this information so early into the movie?
So easily.
And so easily.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, something else is probably going on here, and it was beyond what I thought it would have been. Yeah.
Let's just get to it because we've been gushing, so I'm pretty sure people know about our ratings. But what do you give Blade Runner 2049?
I would have to give it a 5 out of 5. This is a masterpiece.
Ooh.
It's a masterpiece.
When's the last time you gave a 5 out of 5?
Spider-Man. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was a good film. It was a very good film.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I'm gonna say.
Why a 4? Why a 4 and not a 5?
Oh, just because of my personal reasons, you know. It's a good film, but it could be better because it still fell into the tropes. Some of the tropes.
We didn't even talk about. Well, we can't because
we can't.
If you would like to know exactly what we thought of the movie, you got to come personally and talk to us so we can. So after you,
I
see
have
the
beers.
movie, yeah,
So we can talk. Well, that's it, guys. We don't got anything else to talk about. Thank you again for watching, and please stay tuned. I think our next one isn't going to be until maybe Star Wars.
Oh no, I know which one our next one will
What?
be, but I'm not gonna say.
Which one?
It'll be a sequel to a review we did already for Halloween.
Oh, shit.